I ended up selling those options for $57,000. I made, 10x almost 12x in 10 days. I was young and foolish. I said, this is actually house money. Don't ever think of the money you made as house money. So I said, this is going to be reversed. So I took a position that it's going to go down below 120. This time it took a little bit longer. In about a month, dollar yen was trading around 124. My 57 became $500,000. Suddenly I'm like, I'm the god, okay? I cannot do wrong. In fact, with the FX trades, there was only one trade that I ever lost money because I was stupid. And people knew that every FX trade I made money. So they told my other clients that, oh, he took this position. They mimicked my positions. When I started doing that, with $100,000 positions. In a $100,000 position, if you have one big figure movement, you're going to lose $1,000. That's it. One big figure means dollar yen going from, for example, 135 to 136. That happens extremely rarely on a given day. That means something significant happened that day. I typically close my position anywhere from 15 to 50 pips, as we call it. A pip is the fourth digit on a phone. So 123.47 versus 123.46. That's called a pip. Why? Don't ask me. It sounds like a pip. It's a small thing. I actually made over $20,000. It didn't matter. I went short, I made money. I went long, I made money. I did yen, I made money. I did Deutschmark. And those days we had even Italian lira. I even made money on that. I did pound versus Australian dollar. I made money. Didn't matter. I could not be beaten. One day I took a position. By that time, I'm so cocky, the position is $1 million. So if there is indeed a one big figure move, I'm going to lose around $10,000. But I know I'm pushing. I made money. Again, remember, I was young and stupid. Maybe not stupid, but I was definitely young, right? And okay, as it happens, it turned against me. And I said, come on, I cannot be wrong. And I had very good economic reasons and market reasons to think that that position was going to make money. So I did what idiotic traders would do. I did not stop my loss. So I said, I'm going to double up. I'm dollar cost averaging. That's one of the biggest financial fallacies you can think of. If the position is bad, it's bad, okay? Any of you guys know a basketball player named Sam Bowie? He actually was a New York Kentucky player back in 1984. You know what is Sam Bowie famous for? I said 84, I said basketball. Come on. He was the guy that was actually drafted right before my people. Okay, the game of 1980s was based on centers. In fact, the first drafted was Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. I mean, he was a great center. If he had actually played in Chicago, he probably would have had, 5, maybe even more championships. But he was by himself in Houston, and the game was also changing. It wasn't dominated by centers anymore. Dr. J and Michael Jordan, so to that. So you drafted Sam Bowie, Yeah, he comes out of University of Kentucky. It's a name program. He's a center. He performed very well. So, as the GM, I think Seattle drafted might not. Oh no, maybe Portland. As the GM, you feel very confident compared to a guy who can basically dunk from the foul line, right? Then you realize that you didn't make a good choice. Are you going to double up on Sam Bowie? Or are you going to say, okay, this is it. Let's save this guy and let's try to get ourselves out of it. No, we found out later that, such a person doesn't exist. As much as I love LeBron, he ain't no Michael Jordan. LeBron is an infinitely better person, don't get me wrong. Do you know how many kids he actually sent to college? Close to 10,000, I think. He doesn't even advertise any of that stuff. People find out and write about it. And he's still with his high school sweetheart and has no kids from another woman. This kind of stuff is rare in NBA. So you guys should take losses with this. Anyway, I got lucky. So my 5,000 became $500,000 before I started a job that was going to pay me around $250,000 a year before going. So I'm feeling good. Somehow my wife found out from my broker, they were friends, that I made a lot of money. She didn't tell her how much. She comes and tells me, you're going to buy me a brand new car and a house. In Turkey, a house means an apartment, but a bed. So I bought a brand new car, the Honda Civics, not the old Honda Civics, but new to Turkey. And that car is still running. It's a 97 Honda Civic. And I bought a 5-bedroom duplex, new apartment complex that has all sorts of amenities and stuff. And I only paid $85,000 for it. You know what's left of that $500,000? That car, that's still running, and that apartment that we ended up selling back in 2014 for $350. And she actually bought a house in Lexington, cash with that money. This was right after we got separated. And that house is worth now $600,000. Here's where I lost money. Any Boston Red Sox fans here? Okay, Boston has a little expression. I'm gonna kind of make it suitable for it. Buck your friggin' dent. And I have the same thing for Monica friggin' Lewinsky. You're probably thinking, what did you do to Monica Lewinsky, or she to you, that you lost close $500,000? Well, being the invincible guy that I am, I took a big position on S&P 500 S&P 500 calls. And at that point, the position seemed just right. Okay? And suddenly the Monica thing came out, Clinton is in trouble, is going to be impeached. Of course, the market tanked. One thing you're going to learn about options, they go from 100 to 0 very fast, especially if they are out of the money and short term. And they were. And I lost close to $400,000 on that. Okay, I'm sure it's my good job. So I wasn't hungry or thirsty. I still could afford a good single malt. But what was wrong with that trade? And about 2 months later, it turned out that had I been able to stay alive, that trade would have made me a lot of money. What do you think was wrong with that trade? anytime you take a position, the direction of the position is in and of itself, by its very definition, is right. Because you have a good reason. Maybe you're gambling. That's okay. That's okay too. You have a good reason to take a position. What was wrong was the size of the position. I didn't think about how much money am I willing to lose. I didn't ask that. Well, by not asking that question, I basically said all of it. This is one of the reasons I don't ever gamble, because to me, gambling is addictive. I even get addicted to video games. When Tetris first came along, I'm that old, late 80s, somebody showed me. I had just come to the United States about a year ago, and I had not seen a Macintosh computer. We only had PCs in Turkey. And I started playing Tetris. I said, oh, this is good. Suddenly I became better at it. And I spent a lot of time in the computer lab because I didn't have a Mac or PC at home. I used to cool graphics student, making $600 a month with a rent of $300. Boston is expensive. And so I started playing Tetris in the middle of the night. I did not or could not stop until I had the top 10 scores on every single computer in the computer lab. Once that was accomplished, I had nothing more left to do. I stopped playing Tetris. Same thing happened with Doom. I actually broke the disc. The Doom came in. It was a friend of mine. I paid him so that I would not play. So gambling is addictive. And this was gambling. The error was the size. Okay, I didn't ask myself, am I willing to, if somebody asked me, would you cry if you lost $400,000 in this trade? The answer would have been, are you freaking kidding me? Of course I would. Even though it's the money I made out of nowhere. This is basically, I gambled, I made $500 million. Just because it's gambling money doesn't mean it's not yours. It's your money. The gambler's ruin always comes not knowing when they leave the table. You made money, leave, run. Or you lost enough money, leave. Years ago, they invited one of the publishers. Those days, they actually had budgets for these. Invited us to a event where they're basically marketing a textbook.